Welcome to Trader Chat. This is our 31st Trader Chat, and today is the 11th of July 2012. As always, we need to start things off by running through our legally obliged disclaimers. The first disclaimer reminds us that all trading involves risk. Please be aware of and accept this risk before trading, and never trade with money that you cannot afford to lose. Secondly, you should be aware that past performance of any trading methodology is no guarantee of future results. And no representation is being made in this webinar that any account will achieve profits or losses similar to those discussed, and all results should to be hypothetical unless otherwise specified. And hypothetical performance results, you should be aware, have many inherent limitations and, unlike an actual performance record, do not represent actual trading. A few pointers about using NetViewer. For those of you who are new, the best way to ask questions is simply to type a message into the chat window. If you cannot hear me, slide your speaker slider up to the right. That operates independently, I believe, of your system audio. And if you'd like to speak to me, then right-click and also enter a chat message. Also, please be careful of mouse clicks because they pop up brightly colored arrows, which can be a little distracting. They do remind me that there's somebody out there, so it's not too much of a problem. And a reminder again of our new schedule, although we've had this schedule for about a month now. We are doing Trader Chat every Wednesday. We do them at alternating times. Of course, last week we didn't do a Trader Chat, and I'm sorry if any of you missed your dose of Hurst cycles. Last week we were also taking a break while America were taking a holiday. And as last week's Trader Chat was scheduled for the American time zone, we thought it made sense for us to take a break. So we did so. I hope that you all had a good break. Without further ado, let's get straight into the subject. Here is Sentient Trader, and if you have any questions at all during today's webinar, whether it's about what I'm talking about or about anything else, then please do put your question into the chat window, and I'll do my best to answer those questions. I see Nathan would like to hear about version 3. Well, that's good, because today I am in fact going to be doing a little demonstration, if you like, of version 3. I'm going to be particularly focusing on the new features in version 3, so that current users who are in the process of upgrading to version 3 can get off to a very quick start with version 3, because you know what all the new features are and what they're all about. As a matter of interest, we are in the process of upgrading current users, and I know we have been getting many emails from those people who have not yet been upgraded, and I know it's a little frustrating because it's out there, but you are going to be upgraded very soon. The upgrade process, as Paul has just mentioned in the chat message, the upgrade process is a little complicated because it's not like a normal upgrade. Version 3 of Sentient Trader is in fact a whole new application. It's a whole new program, although it looks very similar, of course, and it still performs a very good Hurst cycles analysis. There are several big differences. So what I'm going to do, I have a workspace open here. Let's see how many charts I've got 4 charts in this workspace. It's an intraday workspace, and this is a chart of the euro-US dollar. I am receiving live streaming data into this workspace, into all of these charts, and so this is the shortest time frame chart. It's a 15-minute chart, and I like to call my charts. You will know if you use the tools trade settings menu. Every chart has a chart name, as you can see over there. I like to call my charts after the cycles that I would trade on that chart. Even if I'm not going to actually trade the cycle, I know that that is a chart that gives me information about the 2-day cycle. In this case, the 15-minute chart gives me information about the 2-day cycle. It might give you information about a slightly different cycle. So I call my charts after the cycles that they refer to. I find that much easier than trying to remember what a 15-minute bar chart refers to. I suffer from cycles obsessive compulsive disorder, as you know, and so I tend to think about everything in terms of cycles. So when I look at my charts, I think about the cycles that I'm thinking about potentially trading on that particular chart, or that I'm thinking about watching. So that's the first thing. So far, nothing new. In order for me to start demonstrating to you the new features of version 3 of Sentient Trader, let me start with the daily chart. And let me zoom all the way out, and we can see what we've got going here. And first of all, of course, you will see that the cycles analysis is presented along the bottom of the chart, as is always the case. You'll notice some different things happening on the far right-hand edge of the chart over here. You'll notice some text, and you'll notice some little dots. Those are what we call Johnson dots. They're named after the man who came up with the idea. And so let me speak about those first, because they are the first most obvious difference between what you're seeing in version 2 and what you see in version 3. What are those dots? Those dots are, in fact, trading opportunities. Okay, so Sentient Trader version 3 will perform a cyclic analysis as it has always done. There are a few improvements to the analysis process that I will speak about in a moment, but let's sort of skip right past that and get on to the exciting stuff and take a look at what's happening on the far right-hand side of this chart. Sentient Trader has not only performed an analysis, but it is also showing us here trading opportunities for the cycle you said you want to trade on this particular chart. Of course, if you're working with the analyst edition of Sentient Trader, then no trading opportunities are presented to you. There are very big improvements that affect the analyst edition as well. So if you're working with the analyst edition, there are some exciting developments there as well. But you aren't going to benefit from the trading opportunities. Although we have started a process called software rental with version 3, which means that you can, if you're on the analyst edition, you can upgrade to the trader edition, not by paying a big once-off fee, but you can rent the new version for a much lower cost. It makes it much easier to upgrade, so certainly something to consider. Right, so what are these trading opportunities? What are trading opportunities? What does that mean, and all that kind of business? Okay. Well, as you know, trading opportunities on a chart in Sentient Trader are based on Hurst's cyclic principles. Okay. And a trading opportunity is based on the analysis that has been performed. So that's the first really, really important thing to know. That the most important thing that happens on this chart is, of course, the analysis. Trading is of course important, but trading will only be successful or profitable if your analysis is good. Your analysis, as a matter of interest, doesn't have to be right. It's something that I find very interesting and that I really enjoy about trading markets using Hurst cyclic principles. You don't have to be right in order to be profitable. There's a really sort of interesting thing that happens, because when you're performing an analysis, you might, with retrospect, turn out to have been wrong, but because of the way that the multiple cycles work together, the degree to which you are wrong is usually only a very small degree. So you can see that according to this analysis at the moment, the software is saying that the market is coming down into a 20-week cycle trough. Okay, this is one of the potential analyses that I believe is playing out in the euro to US dollar. As you'll know, if you read ST Outlook, this is only one of the two possibilities. The other possibility, I believe, is that the 20-week cycle trough did already occur over here, and I will, in fact, be able to show you how, using the version 3 of Sentient Trader, you can very easily tell Sentient Trader that is what you want to do by using a process called trough pinning, where you literally tell Sentient Trader, I want to pin that trough onto that position on the chart, and you can do it using version 3. Okay, so but this is one of the very viable analyses. What I tend to do if there are two analyses is I keep an eye on both of them. And I monitor the markets, I monitor the cycles according to both analyses. Sometimes there are more than two possible analyses, but not very often. Mostly the analyses that I follow boil down to pretty much one of two options. Okay, so according to this analysis, as you can see, there was a trough in January of 2012 of the 18-month cycle, and I've been writing about that in ST Outlook ever since January. In fact, I've been saying I think this is a trough of the 18-month cycle. Well, I still think it's a trough of the 18-month cycle, and so this analysis is presenting that scenario, and of course, it's according to this analysis, it's saying that the market is now moving down into a 20-week cycle trough, which is expected round about now, as indicated by these boxes here, okay, or that particular box over there, indicates that cycle trough is expected round about now. Okay, that's the analysis. I'm sure you're all familiar with that, or if you're not, pop a question into the chat window. I'd be very happy to explain further. But of course, that is what this analysis is saying. Now, one of the sort of processes that you had to learn when working with version 2 of Sentient Trader was how to get from an analysis to a trading decision. Because it's all very well saying, okay, well, I think the market's coming down into a trough of the 20-week cycle. That's fascinating, and you can be very entertaining at dinner parties explaining to people why you think the 20-week cycle trough is about to form. But that doesn't help you make trading decisions. And there have always been two aspects of Sentient Trader. There are, of course, nowadays two editions of Sentient Trader. There is the Analyst Edition and there is the Trader Edition. That is because the two aspects of Sentient Trader are the analysis and then the trading. And in version 2 of Sentient Trader, moving from seeing an analysis on your chart and understanding the analysis, moving from that point to making a trading decision was not a very intuitive process. Sentient Trader would do it for you, it would make trading decisions for you, but often the processes involved in making those trading decisions were obscured. And you had to have a very good understanding of what Sentient Trader was doing to understand why Sentient Trader was suggesting that particular trading opportunity. Okay, in version 3, that has all changed. Trading with Sentient Trader has become fantastically intuitive. As you might know, I created Sentient Trader for myself. Sentient Trader started off as a personal project for me. I am at heart a trader. I discovered Hurst cyclic principles many years ago, and I started trading on the basis of them, and I found that my trading improved tremendously, and I started seeing fairly consistent profits. But it took me a terribly long time to perform an analysis, and I couldn't find any software that did it. So I thought, oh, well, I've a bit of experience writing software code. I'm going to try and create a project that'll do this for me. 6 years later, actually I don't know how many years later, but anyway, 6 years later, that is Sentient Trader, of course. So our approach for Sentient Trader has always been that if I wanted to do something with the software, then it meant that we'd look at putting it into Sentient Trader. After we started beta testing, and particularly after we started selling Sentient Trader, we invited feedback from all our users. And what drives the development of Sentient Trader to this day is still the feedback